Hi everyone, please subscribe this WikiTech channel and tap on the bell icon to receive the further notifications.
What's up everyone, this is Jason from GTX. Hey guys, I hope you all are good and doing great. The thing is guys, many of our family members ask me the question to explain something and the brief explanation about this newly launched Inspiron 7501 model, and also some people ask me to compare this particular 7501 model with last year 2019 model Inspiron 7591 series. So anyhow guys, I was going to talk about something about this new arrival from the Dell 7501 model. So let's talk about something about it crazy. And also guys, here is the new Inspiron 7591 laptop. Its cost is around 1 lakh 5,000 rupees. So what it may be, let us test the 1 lakh rupee, the last year version 2019, which was launched in at cost of around 1 lakh. So like that, where is this 2020 version? This is the new Inspiron 15751. Its price is around 1,16,000 rupees. So it was very clear the price difference was around 16,000 rupees where the newly launched Inspiron versus the last year Inspiron. So anyhow, let's look the specification and let us consider why the price was around 16,000 rupees was high when compared to the last year version. So guys, as usual, the first thing, let us consider the comparing between the processor of the last year Isom processor, whereas this year also launched with Isom processor. So let's see what there was any, is there any difference in terms of processor department. So let's take a look. So well, here is the Inspiron 7591 model. So guys, check it here. It comes with a 9th generation Core i7 9750 H series, and it's 12 MB Kachi, and it can go up to 4.5 turbo boost, and also it comes with 6 cores. So like that, if we're talking about the latest one, which was comes with 2020 7501 model, whereas this one comes with 10th generation of Intel i7 processor, and also its model number 10750H series, and also its Kachi is 12 MB and its turbo boost is up to 5.0, and also it comes with 6 cores. So guys, it was very clear, whereas the last year and this year processor comes with i7 with 12 MB Kachi, and the both processor have 6 cores, but whereas the last year processor can go turbo boost up to 4.5 GHz. So like that, this year 2020 model, the processor goes turbo boost up to 5.0 GHz, and also the last year processor comes with 9th generation. So whereas this 2020 model comes with the 10th generation. So I think this was not a deal breaker because after 16,000 rupees. So anyhow, you have seen the processor ends with the letter H. So many times I told you that where the H series indicates the high performance, which means both the processors was designed for heavy tasking works. But anyhow, let's compare this processor side by side if there any difference or not. So guys, you can see here the first one is the i7, and it was comes with the last year model, but whereas this particular one comes with a 2020 model. So if you're talking about the essentials, in essential you have seen that whereas the both processor was mobile processor, and also as we discussed, the last year processor was comes with 9th generation i7. So whereas the latest one comes with the 10th generation and also i7, the processor version, you have seen the name and the launch date, and whereas this the last one is launched with 2019 quarterfinals 2. The new one also launched with 2020, but it's also quarterfinals 2. And also guys, you have seen that the last year processor built with 14 nanometer architecture, but whereas the new one is also built with 14 nanometer architecture. So my dear guys, it was very clear what we have seen in the last year, the exact architecture they maintain in this 2020 processor. Also it comes with 14 nanometer architecture, which means both the process consumes the same amount of power, and also both the processors comes with same heat management. So there was no change in terms of power consumption as well as the thermal management. So there was almost equal because they built with 14 nanometer architecture. So like that, if you look at the performance, whereas the both processor comes with 6 cores, and also the hyper-threading is up to 12, and here is the big frequency of the last year is 2.60 GHz, and the new one is also 2.0 GHz, whereas the turbo boost reaches up to 4.0, and the new one turbo boost reaches up to 5 GHz. And also if you look at this, almost the bus speed and TDS and TDP down was almost equal. So guys, it was you have seen that whereas this last year processor, and this new processor also comes with 6 cores and 6 cores, whereas hyper-threading it will go up to 12 cores. But the base frequency of these both processors was equal, which comes with around 2.60 gigahertz. And if you're talking about the turbo boost, whereas the latest processor goes up to 5.0 gigahertz, but whereas the last processor goes up to 4.50 gigahertz, it's mean like 0.50 gigahertz there was a speed limit. So I don't think so it was a deal breaker. For example, if the new processor will finish a work in 10 minutes, so but whereas if you give the same work to the last year processor, it can able to finish the work in 8.30 seconds, nearly like that. So 1 minute 30 seconds I think is not a deal breaker. So like that, if you're talking about the supplementary information, both was equal, and memory specification, whereas the both the processor can goes up to 128 gigahertz easily, and the last year processor comes with DDR4 2666, whereas the new one comes with DDR4 2933. And also both have the 2 channels in the board, and also you can check the bandwidth frequency 41, and a new one bandwidth frequency up to 45 gigahertz. So guys, whereas these both processor can take up to 128 GB RAM, but usually we couldn't use that much of RAM in reality. And also both these processor works with DDR4, but whereas the last one works with 2666 megahertz, but whereas the new one can go up to 2933 megahertz. So if you look at the speed, there should be difference in nearly 260 megahertz speed difference in between these two processors. So you guys have to think, is it required for us? There's a small amount of speed. I don't think so. I think both was working in the same department. But whereas if you look at the bandwidth frequency, the last one goes up to 41.8 gigahertz, and after the new one goes up to 45.8 gigahertz. Do you think we utilize the processor that much of harsh way? I don't think so. We haven't used that, so this option was not for us. But anyhow, it was very clear when compared to last year and this year, the processor there was a little bit of change in terms of turbo boost. It can go up to 0.50 gigahertz speed only limit, and also a little bit of RAM department. So till now, I don't think so it was a deal breaker for us. So like that, if you're talking about the expansion ports, whereas the expansion ports for the both processor looks almost the same. So like that, if you look at the package information, it also looks almost the same. And also the final one, advanced technology, if you look at the both looks almost same, but here is a little bit of change, whereas Intel terminal velocity it goes up to no. Okay, let us consider and move forward. And also you have seen the Intel turbo boost technology, and also they added no eligibility here. So like that, if you're looking the more options, everything was equal, and the final one, system secure and reliability, everything was equal. But if you look at the 2020 model, does not give the information here. So that's it guys. In terms of processor department, I haven't seen much difference between the last year generation i7 versus this 2020 i7 processor. So guys, let's talk about the video card department. So whereas the last year model comes with NVIDIA GeForce 1053 GB DDR5, so like that, the new one comes with again NVIDIA GeForce GTX, but it's 1650 Ti 4GB DDR6 version. So guys, in terms of the video department, whereas the last year laptops comes with NVIDIA GeForce 1050 3GB GDDR5, but whereas this 2020 model comes with NVIDIA GTX GeForce 1060 Ti, and it comes with 4GB GDDR6. Yes guys, there should be a little bit of difference in terms of the GPU department. We should consider the GPU difference is around 40 to 45% different between the GPU when compared to the last year GPU versus this 2020 model laptop GPU, because of that 1050 versus the 16 Ti, and also they use the latest version GDDR6, but whereas the last year GPU comes with GDDR5. Obviously the new one works something better when compared to the last year. So like that, let's talk about the battery department. So whereas guys, you have seen that the last version comes with 3 cells, 56 watts per hour, and whereas the new one also comes with 3 cells, same exactly 56 watts per hour. So whereas guys, in battery department, the model which was launched in last year and this 2020 model almost equal. There was no much difference in terms of battery department. So let's take a look at the display. Whereas guys, the last year laptop comes with 15.6 Full HD and 1920 into 1080 resolution and its anti-glare LED backlit non-touch wide viewing angle. So like the new one also comes with 15.6 Full HD and 1920 10 resolution, anti-glare LED backlit non-touch and also wide viewing angle. So guys, it was very clear in terms of the display what they uses the last year display. We have seen the same display in this 2020 also. They haven't changed anything, whereas it usually comes with 300 nits. So we can't expect anything much more in this 2020 model because exactly the inches 15.6 also same, and it's a full HD panel and wide viewing angle support. So guys, there was no change in terms of the display of these both models. So let's take a look at the wireless department, how best they make in this 2020. I too don't know, so let's take a look. Where is the last year model? They comes with 802 AC 2x2 Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Like the new one also comes with AC 2x2 Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So guys, it was very disappointing in terms of the Wi-Fi. So it did not change anything. Right now in the market, Wi-Fi 6 was arrived. But still, if we are investing here, the new version of the Dell 2020, we are investing here 1,16,000 rupees. But still, these guys does not provide us the Wi-Fi 6 also. This one can able to support dual band Wi-Fi, whereas the last year model also can able to support dual band Wi-Fi. It does not support the Wi-Fi 6. So I was very disappointed in terms of the connectivity department. Of course, whereas the Bluetooth connectivity they give, I hope so, 5.0 version. But whereas in terms of the Wi-Fi department, there was no change between the last year laptop and this 2020 laptop. So like that, let's take a look at the RAM department of these both models. So guys, you have seen that the last year model comes with 16 GB, 2x2 on the board, 18:8 DDR4, and the RAM speed is 2666 MHz. So like that, comes with 8 GB only, okay, and it's onboard RAM. Okay, its RAM type is DDR4 and 2933 MHz. So guys, where is the laptop which was launched in 2019? It one comes with 16 GB of RAM and the RAM type is DDR4. It can clock speed up to 2666 MHz. But whereas the new one, you need to think once. It comes with 8 GB. That's disappointed, and also its RAM speed is 2966 megas. Of course it was okay, but you need to look here onboard RAM. But whereas the last year model laptop does not come with onboard RAM, but whereas the version which was launched in 2020, this new laptop comes with onboard RAM. So which was, I was little bit of disappointed because of the onboard RAM. So guys, many of you people don't know, so that's why I was explaining. Suppose if the laptop comes with onboard RAM, means the RAM should be soldered to the laptop motherboard, which means we can't able to remove the RAM. In case if the RAM get damaged, is not working, then we can't do ourselves to remove the backer of the laptop. We can't able to remove the RAM because the RAM is soldered to the motherboard if the laptop comes with onboard RAM. So that is very disadvantage for us also. But whereas usually normal laptops, if anything get issue, means we can easily remove the back cover of the laptop and we can purchase the additional RAM, and we can do it ourselves. We can easily remove the RAM from the slot, we can add the new RAM, we can do it everything by ourselves. But whereas this onboard RAM means the RAM is soldered to the motherboard, which was a very big headache. Suppose guys, if you get any issue with the RAM, means in some cases you need to change the entire motherboard. Suppose if you are in warranty, then the company send you the engineer and the company can easily replace the entire motherboard with a free of cost. Of course, if the thing was same issue was happen after the warranty, means then you need to pay the big amount for the motherboard because of that particular RAM. The motherboard cost was usually nearly 20,000 rupees. So usually most of the cases the onboard RAM couldn't come outside, whereas very few motherboards only allow us to remove the onboard RAM, but we couldn't do it ourselves. It's need a chip level engineer, so the guy can desolder it. It was not easy, but maximum cases we can't able to separate the RAM from the motherboard. Please note that onboard RAM means definitely there was a risk. But and also usually the onboard RAM doesn't get issues. Suppose if it come in future, means after warranty expire, then you need to replace the entire motherboard. So better to ask the company before purchasing this particular laptop 7501, is it possible to remove the onboard RAM in future if it get any issues? If the company say yes, we can separate the RAM from the motherboard means, then you can go. Otherwise, don't go here. Because of that small RAM, we need to pay here 20,000 rupees. I told you we need to change the entire motherboard. So anyhow, guys, let's talk about the hard disk department in this both models. So guys, you have seen that where is the last year laptop comes with a 512 GP M.2 PCIe NVMe slot. That's the good thing. So whereas this 2020 model also comes with the 512 GP M.2 PCIe NVMe slot, and also it was no change. So guys, it was very clear what the SSD they're providing. The SSD type is PCIe NVMe. What the SSD they was providing the last year, the same SSD was providing this 2020 model also 512 GP. So that's the disappointing thing for me. And also once take a deep look into these both models RAM department. Whereas the last year RAM department, you have two separate slots for the RAM and it's a dual channel, and you can go the RAM up to 32 GP. It's a very good thing. Whereas this new laptop comes with 8 GP, which was fixed because it was onboard RAM, and also you get only one separate slot for the RAM, and the RAM highest it goes up to 24 GP. So finally, before ending this video, you guys can check out all the specifications. So guys, if you look at the processor department, so almost equal because the last year on to this 2020 model also comes with 14 nanometer architecture. So which means in terms of power consumption, in terms of thermal management, the both processor was equal almost because of the 14 nanometer architecture. But whereas if you look at the turbo boost, it can go up to 5.0, whereas the new one, but whereas the last one goes up to 4.5. So there should be just 0.50 GHz speed was different. So like that, if you look at the RAM department also, the last one only comes, the last year laptop only comes with 16 GB of RAM, but whereas this 2020 model comes with just 8 GB of RAM. So and also this 2020 RAM is also onboard RAM, which means the RAM was fixed to the motherboard. In case if anything happened with the RAM means you need to change the entire motherboard because we couldn't separate the RAM because the RAM was soldered to the motherboard. And also one thing we need to consider, whereas the last year version comes with 1050 3GP DDR5, the new one comes with 1650 Ti and it's 4GP DDR6. Yes guys, in terms of the GPU department, you guys can see that the variation is around 40 to 45% when you look at the GPU departments. And also they uses the same display what the panel they used the last year, the same panel they used is 2020 also. There was no change in terms of the nit level also. Nits also same 300 nits, and also almost all the port selections also used. But whereas the last year version comes with 3.1 USB, the new one comes with 3.2 USB. And also both these models also made up of magnesium, all the same quality. They built the machine. So guys, it was very clear. So excess 16,000 rupees for that particular GPU department, do you feel it is worth? Because you have a lot of options. You can get better performance and better CPU and better GPU also with less price. If you look at the Asus or even the Acer, Lenovo also there in the market. So before purchasing, think once, especially that onboard RAM. If you are okay to take the risk, then you can go. So my intensity is we are investing here 1,16,000 rupees, which was not a small amount. So that's why before purchasing the product, we must and should need to know what is onboard RAM, and also they use the Wi-Fi dual bandwidth it can support. This laptop does not support the Wi-Fi 6 also, so that's also disappointed. So anyhow, it was this particular model 7501 was more expensive in my opinion. So guys, it's your money, your decision, you have to think about yourself. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me. If you have any kind of specific question, just let me ask in the comment section. I was very happy to assist you. See you very soon in the next video. Thank you, take care.